And this is Ken Kraetzer at West Point. I have a chance to talk with one of the Army seniors, Mike Ugenyi. And Mike has been doing a great job holding up the defensive line with his colleagues all season. Mike, just tell us a little bit about the year. I know the record isn't what you wanted, but you've played some really tough games, some very good football teams, and the defensive line has really held up very well. Just tell us a little bit about the season.
Yeah, it's definitely not been the season we wanted it to be. But the defensive line as a unit, we've held up well. Some freshmen and sophomores have stepped up a lot. John Voight playing a lot of good football. Richard Glover's playing a lot of good football. Joe Drummer's playing a lot of good football. And the guys, we all have injuries, but, guys keep battling through them. And we're not really missing that many snaps.
What does it take for a defensive line to mature? I mean, it's unusual to have three seniors at the defensive line, the point of attack on defense. How has your line matured and grown over the years?
Just as a unit, speaking for me, Bobby Coe, Richard Glover, and Joe Drummond, just becoming more leaders, being a more leader-oriented group, coming around guys like John Boyd and Jordan Smith and T.J. Atamalala. We basically started to come into that leadership standpoint while also playing like the best level of football we can possibly play. So, that helps, and leading by example helps.
And you often are playing some teams with enormous offensive lines. 300-pound offensive linemen have become ubiquitous in college football, but you've held up. What is the challenge when you play teams with very big offensive linemen?
Usually when we take, which is everything we play, usually when we play those teams, we try building in a game plan that uses our quickness instead of our power. We're all powerful guys. We're all work hard and get ready for those games against those big guys. But one of the biggest things is we try to use our quickness against those guys to make a lot of plays and cause a lot of disruption in the backfield. Okay.
And I know you got a big day on Thursday night with the branch assignments coming out. What area of the U.S. Army would you like to serve in after graduation?
Field artillery. Sir, that's all that matters to me, field artillery.
Okay, my dad was a field artillery officer. Why would field artillery be a good area for you?
It's just a good branch to join, and a lot of my teammates are going the same way. So.
Okay, and tell us a bit about your studies here at West Point. What major and what have been some of the most interesting areas that you've studied in your classwork?
Well, I'm a business management major, and that's in the BSNL department. I've actually done a lot of great things through BSNL. I've got to meet a lot of CEOs and meet with a lot of Fortune 500 companies and guys that work there. And actually, after the football season, I'll be able to go, on certain trip sections to, Mercedes-Benz or Encore, certain companies like that, and start creating more links and more connections with these CEOs and people that work there. And basically through this major, it's just helped me, build a lot of my connections and just I've basically become a better person because of it.
That's terrific. You wouldn't think of business majors as often as at West Point. It's a great opportunity. What has been the thing that has helped you grow at West Point, the thing that you've really learned from your study, your time management? How have you changed as a person at West Point?
I'd say my biggest change since being up at West Point is basically being a leader. This place molds a lot of leaders, and simply by being here, it's easy, to get caught up in the West Point, prestige and be like, okay, I'm a West Pointer. I know everything. I have everything already down. But being here, it's actually just sharpened me of being a leader on the football team, being a leader within the Corps, and just basically being able to help other people as much as I can.
And just tell us where you're from and what high school you went to.
I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, and I went to North Springs High School.
Good, another one of the Georgia players on the Army football team. Why did you select West Point?
One of the big reasons I selected West Point was obviously because of my brother. My brother graduated in 2010, and he played football here as well. Now he's a signal officer. But he was a real big influence on me growing up. And when he went here, I still wasn't thinking about coming here, but he changed my mind through a couple of talks, and I ended up here, and I don't regret any decision coming here.
Absolutely. You've got a couple of big football games left on the schedule. Then you've got a lot of events leading up to graduation at Michie Stadium next May. What are you looking forward to?
Definitely the number one thing I'm looking forward to in the next few weeks is Navy. Definitely the first game before that is Fordham. We're focusing on Fordham ready to be for them. But you never you always gear up for that Navy game to play your brothers in arms down there, and that's the only thing I'm really thinking about right now.
Absolutely. Mike Ugenyi, a senior defensive lineman on the Army football team. Best wishes from all of us at the American Legion.
Thanks a lot, sir.
This is Ken Kraetzer at West Point for Sons of the American Legion Radio.